go. Good morning. This is Brighton Supervisor Bill Maley, and I have called this a special meeting of the Brighton Town Board. We have an action of new business relating to the designation of an official newspaper for the town of Brighton. Because of an issue relating to a publication of several legal notices, but also the anticipated cessation of publication of the Brighton Pittsford Post. It is my recommendation and the town attorney's recommendation that we designate the Democrat and Chronicle as an official newspaper of the town. In particular, that will ensure that legal notices that are going to be published tomorrow, Saturday, in the Democrat and Chronicle will be formally authorized legal notices of the town. And as you can see in the proposed resolution, this resolution would designate the Democrat and Chronicle as an official newspaper for the remainder of 2021. I'm just going to suggest, by the way, that although this resolution says the official newspaper, that might imply that the Brighton Pittsford Post is no longer an official newspaper. I'm not sure I want to do that. I think what I would want to say is that the DNC is an official newspaper.
I think Ken had specific reasoning for that word choice.
Did he? Okay. All right. All right. Then rather than change it, we'll continue with that. My only concern, Dan, do you know what the date that the Post is planning to cease publication?
I believe it is the last edition we will get is October 21st, I believe, is the last one.
Okay. Part of my thinking was that we have a big legal notice coming up with the budget hearings, and I know there is a significant cost differential, and I want to be able to continue to use, if we can, and it sounds like the timing would work, that we would continue to use the Brighton Pittsford Post for that hearing if we legally can do so.
I'm not sure on the timing, but I anticipate that at the next FASC meeting, I will have a memo submitting to recommend that we switch to the Daily Record as the paper of record.
And then that was the other question, was the Daily Record. I knew you were getting quotes.
Yeah, Gannett has inexplicably was unable to give me a price. I submitted a couple of past notices. I had done that with the Record, just said, hey, what would these have cost had we run them with you? The Record very quickly gave me an answer. Gannett has not been able to do so.
Wow.
And inexplicable is the only word that I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully I will have that the next day or two in time for the next FASC meeting next week.
Okay, great. Well, then let's leave the resolution as is. And I would ask for a motion on that matter. But it looks like everybody is muted.
Bill, with respect to the proposed resolution designating the Democrat and Chronicle as the official newspaper of the town of Brighton for the publication of notices, resolutions, and ordinances for the remainder of 2021, I move we adopt the resolution as prepared by the town attorney.
Second.
Any discussion?
I guess I would just note that, again, in talking with Ken a little bit earlier, there's nothing stopping another one of these meetings, if need be, to switch it back.
Right.
I mean, this specifically is for the bonding that is out there for the Duffield Road project. Saturday is the final day counted out that it could be before we go out to market. So that's why the urgency on this having to happen.
Yep.
There's nothing
And,
to say
and
that.
thank you, Dan, thank you for jumping on it, you know, as quickly as you did and can. Maybe it would have been okay, but I don't like maybe when it comes to matters like bond issuance. Okay. Any other discussion? And hearing.
Just a quick aside, when I was talking to the clerk in Arundecoit, they switched to the record this summer because the Post messed up a bond thing for them and they had to go back out and wait. It cost them a month before they could go back out and issue it. So I think sadly, I think the writing's been on the wall for a bit, even before they announced the closures. But I think once the closure was announced, obviously, then we definitely have to act.
Yeah. Okay, then please call the roll.
Councilmember DePonzio,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailing.
Aye. Thank you. Just real quickly, as I mentioned last night, with Governor Hochul's having signed legislation that permits a return to remote town board meetings in light of not only the infection positive rates, which have again gone up extraordinarily, but also obviously, as we know, the ventilation system in this building. I am certainly leaning towards returning to remote meetings. I don't know your thoughts on that, but it seems like it's the prudent thing to do right now.
I support it. We need to lead by example and be very prudent in our interactions with people and be prudent in what we encourage the community to do. And if we're encouraging them to come to a public meeting, we're not helping anybody squash this pandemic.
Yeah. Okay.
What would we still, would our committees still meet and our citizen boards still meet in person, or would we transition those to remote as well?
You know, that's something we would, you know, have to decide. I will tell you in terms of committees, board committees, because the numbers are so small on those, and because we would have to, you know, go through the whole YouTube and televising and transcript. I don't see the same need for those meetings right now. And then that leaves the planning, zoning, and other boards. And again, we'll just have to see on those. There are pluses and minuses. I know there are people who have expressed to me that they were interested in coming to meetings in person, but don't feel comfortable coming to a meeting in person. So more to follow. I appreciate the feedback, and we'll make that decision within the next couple days. And on a related note, we're also processing and figuring out exactly what we have to do vis-a-vis the president's speech yesterday, which, if I understand it correctly, all employers, and I at this point have not heard anything that leads me to believe public sector employers are treated differently, but all employers with 100 or more employees, all employees must either be vaccinated or tested weekly. So I believe we are going to have to comply with that, and have already had some discussions to that end. Tricia and I will be talking more, and we'll be figuring out, I do believe there are some employees who are going to continue to be reluctant. So that's simply something we're going to have to address. And again, I will keep you in the loop as we do that. Yes, Christine.
Do you know if that directive, how that directive impacts unionized employees?
I do not, but that's obviously one of the many questions that we have. But I have not heard anything that suggests, and again, it's obviously it's just happened, but I have not heard anything that suggests that unionized employees are treated differently, although there may certainly be some question or challenge on that.
All right.
Okay, I have nothing else. Can I have a motion to adjourn? But before I do, thank you everybody for making yourselves available on such short notice. I appreciate it. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DePonzio,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Supervisor Manley.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful and safe day.